Hello everybody and welcome to Young Gamer Spintires mod review. So today we're looking at 3 mods, all of which I consider to be quite realistic. I'm looking at vehicles that we might expect to see on the roads or the trails around us. The 3 vehicles I've got with us today, 2 Land Rovers and 1 RAV4, Toyota RAV4. The 2 Land Rovers are both mods made by PHEASE, P-H-E-A-S-E. They're available on the workshop. It's the Landrover Discovery 3, which is the grey one we see ahead of us. It is the Landrover Discovery 3 G4, which is the I think G4 was something put forward by Land Rover to showcase their off-road abilities and their vehicles, kind of like a safari type thing. And they sent a lot of Land Rovers off around the world, and they did some sort of big expedition. But that's obviously the model they've gone for on this one. The G4 Challenge, it was known as. And then we've got the RAV4, which is a smaller vehicle, an SUV, and we'll test these out going up some hills and whatnot. But first of all, let's take a look at the Land Rover Discovery 3. So for me, this is a gorgeous mod. I love the realism of it. I love the fact that my driver is sat in there at the moment with his arms crossed as if he completely bored of what it is I'm saying. I love the fact it's got British plates on it. It's a right-hand drive vehicle, this one. The plates don't match the vehicle. They're a much older plate. The format of our plates has changed considerably since then, but nonetheless, lovely wheels on it. The Scorpion ATR, the Pirelli wheels. For me, the texturing is okay, but I would like to see perhaps a little bit more detail on there. Possibly it's not on there because it would make the mod too big a file size. I don't know much about mods. But as you can see, it looks very realistic. And inside as well, lovely detail on the inside. We can see through the front windows there, the cab. I love the fact that the back windows are slightly tinted, as you would probably expect to find in a vehicle of this type. And I think we can see from this one that this is the 7-seat model, so we've got the 2 extra seats in the boot there. Should just be able to see that if I can get this this view to work properly. You can just about see them in there. So let's start up the engine and see what this thing sounds like. That's nice, and I'm loving the fact that when we started up the engine, you can see the bonnet and the front of the car just started bouncing a little bit, as you would expect with a Land Rover with a big chunky diesel engine in it. In fact, we used to have I used to own a Land Rover Discovery, and it did exactly. I used to love starting the engine up, and the car would kind of wobble a bit on its suspension as the engine fired into life. Loving the fact that on this particular model, we can see that the sunroofs, we've got the glass sunroofs here above the driver. You can just about see the driver in there, and also we've got the glass sunroof on the passenger area. So that would be absolutely awesome to do some off-road safaris in. What a great view you'd have from the back. It says in the description that the suspension can be raised. Again, the modder is trying to keep the realism level alive. He says that he doesn't want to make it so that it's a ridiculously large suspension increase, but if we go into advanced, we go to suspension number 3, and by hitting R and T, we can see pumping up the suspension there, just going to give us a little bit more ground clearance. That raised by, I'm guessing, about 3 or 4 inches in real life. So winch sources, we've got one on the front of the vehicle, and we've got one on the back of the vehicle, as you would expect. Now, moving on to the next Land Rover. So, on to the Land Rover Discovery 3 G4. As I said, this is made by the same modder, PHEASE. Mod description contained in our description below. This is the G4 Challenge model, and as I mentioned, this was basically an off-road expedition that Land Rover put together to showcase how great their Land Rovers drove off-road. Differences between this and the other model, let's call it the stock on-road model. We've got a nice hook on the winch there. That's a lovely touch. We've got some grillage over the lights. We've got a snorkel for the engine air, and we've got, of course, a nice roof rack to be able to load up a few bits and pieces. Let's take a look around the back. A ladder to get onto the roof rack, and this one also with British plates, this being the more up-to-date plates. And for me the fact we've got some liveries, some decals on the side here, G4 Challenge, the Goodyear, the worn stickers, that just breaks up the texture a bit and adds a lot more realism to it. So I'm very much enjoying this mod. Let's start this one up.
That sounds like the original.
It does. That does sound. That sounds good. And did you notice when you started the engine, the car just bounced up a bit?
Yeah, that's quite cool. That
it is quite cool. And the suspension raises as well on this one. Let's just have a quick look and see if we get any more suspension raise on the off-road variety, or should I say the G4 Challenge variety. So again, it's R and T. It's pushing the suspension up, and that's about as high as it will go, and take the suspension back down again.
You can make this thing really, really small. You can make this thing quite big.
You can, but he's going, as I mentioned, he's going for realism, which is why the suspension increase is pretty much as you'd expect it on a vehicle of this type. So we'll look at what each vehicle can carry in way of cargoes and utilities points and whatnot. But first of all, before we do that, we're going to take a look at the RAV4. So this is the baby of the group, you could say. This one's a left-hand drive, as you'd expect, being from Russia. The notes from the modder on this one. This is being brought to us by VDI433. He says Toyota RAV4, one of the first crossovers, unlike many of his contemporaries, has a centre locking and limited slip differential. Practical and reliable car. He says, in this case, I made my car. This is the European version. He says it's a low poly model, which I'm guessing means that it's the textures will perhaps be a little bit less detailed to reduce file size and to make the game run a bit smoother when you're using this mod. So, let's start this engine up. That sounds pretty throaty, doesn't it?
That sounds beefy.
That does, in fact, that sounds more beefy than the Land Rovers. So, let's have a look at advanced. Let's check out the winch points. We've got more winch points on this. So we've got 2 up here on the underneath the bonnet, and 2 down here on the back. So
if they actually add in the update, we can put 2 winch points on the vehicle, so you can connect 2 trees and signs of Magic Carbon too. You could get 2 people towing your thing from the front. Yeah,
that would be a great add-on to the game, is to be able to use the winch on multiple points. You'd be able to use more than one winch. Yeah. Missing the spare tyre, so I'm guessing that the modder is also missing the spare tyre on his vehicle. Maybe that's been pinched, or maybe it's been used.
Maybe it's an upgrade. So on the garage.
Maybe. Okay, so let's drive one of these. We'll start off with the first one, with the Landrover Discovery 3, and just take it up the hill and see what it looks like when it's driving up the hill.
Yeah.
So, Landrover Discovery 3. Take this along through our garage. We'll take a look while we pass through the garage at the add-ons that we can get for this vehicle. So,
I'll lend the add-ons if you want.
Where are we doing? What am I supposed to be doing here?
Yeah, you're meant to wait.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so roof rack first of all. Install.
That's the one from the G4 Discovery.
It is. Now again, the roof rack is nice, but the texturing is for me is a little off. Now, when I talk about things like the texturing and perhaps things that I think are not too could have to do with a little bit of improvement, let's say. I'm no way detracting from the modders, because I certainly couldn't build a modded vehicle like this.
Neither could I.
No. So still, you know, we offer full kudos to the people who build these things. But compared to others, we're just saying, you know, maybe some improvement in the textures there. Toolbox for the roof rack.
It carries 400 repair points and 2 garage points.
Yeah. No, I'm liking the detail that this toolbox is strapped down to the side of the.
That's quite nice.
Yeah, that's a nice detail. Again, texturing not brilliant. And here we got some jerry cans. And what do these offer us?
They offer us, I think, about 300 litres of fuel. If I'll quick check.
What is
150.
150 litres of fuel in the jerry cans. Again, a nice touch that the jerry cans are actually strapped to the roof rack.
Now the wheels.
So at the moment we've got the default wheels. The Cooper Discovery STT Pro. Let's check them out. Oh, liking them. Let's see if we can get down there and have a better look at them.
It's a guarantee in a way.
Yeah.
They look like proper wheels.
They do look good. Oh, never mind. Yeah, they do look good. They do look good indeed. Let's check out the Goodyear Wrangler Duratrax. Okay, yeah. These, again, going for realism. These are definitely off-road tyres, but more subtle, shall we say, than the Cooper Discoveries.
And now the Badger wheel.
The Baja wheels.
They're
now,
big.
they are pretty cool. But, I don't know, do they go with this vehicle?
They don't really look like good with your vehicle.
And the Bogger wheel, again, they look pretty cool, but not really, I don't really go with the vehicle, but still, nice. I think they'd look better on the G4 version.
Yeah.
Let's go for the Goodyear Wranglers Duratrax, and let's take a little drive up the hill here. Right, I'm going to stick it into crawler mode. We'll do all of the drives up the hill in crawler mode.
So
we'll have a quick look before we do. Do we get an in-cab view?
Nope.
No, we just get the top of the bonnet and the, if we wanted it, the top of the canopy there. So, up we go. This is a steep little hill. We've got diff lock on.
This thing has all wheels on every day, so you'll be driving with all wheels on every time.
Yeah,
got...
although I think the Discovery actually does have the option, in reality, to change between four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive.
Yeah.
No, it's not coping 100% well with this area of the. I mean, that was one of the easier parts of this little hill that we're about to go up.
Yeah. I remember.
Let's take a look. Lovely. I like the way it's lovely bouncing on the suspension there, isn't it?
Do you have the suspension raised up fully?
Oops, almost drove off the track.
Oh.
We'll do that. We'll just make sure when we get here that we've got the suspension raised up fully. I mean, it's still a fair bit of clearance there. Yeah, it's bouncing around lovely, as you'd expect for a vehicle of this type. Let's just park it on this bit here and see if we've raised the suspension. Suspension is up to the max. Okay. So let's continue. Parking brake off. A little bit of wheel spin there from the front wheels. Now up to the more tricky part of the hill.
I remember I tested this mod out on my own, right? And I was in automatic gears. And this thing, I went around the testing grounds, and this thing, once it got up to speed, it flew so hard. It was so fast.
Was it?
And somehow you put it into
it's not coping well here.
You somehow put this tamed this car.
Yeah, it's not coping well. Again, that's probably the realism, but I would expect if I bought a Land Rover, I would expect it to be able to go up this hill, because this is not particularly challenging. Let's just see if I go into a slower crawling gear, see if we can get some traction. No, we're not going anywhere, are we?
No.
So I think that's that brings Land Rover. That's the end of the road for the Land Rover G3. Oh, we're slowly moving now. Okay, well, let's try out another one of the vehicles. Okay, into the G4. Let's see how this thing gets on. Alright, into the garage. I'm guessing this is going to have much the same upgrades as the other G4, but we'll just have a quick check. Yeah, we've got the Cooper Discovery wheels, the Pirelli Scorpion wheels. Did we have the Pirelli Scorpion on the other one?
No, we didn't.
I don't think we did we?
I don't think we had the Cooper Discovery STT Pro either.
No, I don't think we did. The Baja wheels 38, we had those. And the Blogger wheel 38, we had those. Let's put the STT Pros on this one and see if that goes up a little better. Joe Can's the same and Toolbox the same. 2 garage points and 400 points. So let's stick the lights on and let us depart. Ooh, parking brake off now.
You could actually probably take this one on a trek.
Right, back into crawler mode for this hill, and let's see how this compares to the other Land Rover. The night is falling.
On us.
That means we can get a good view of these big lights in the front of the vehicle. Looking good.
No, that's quite nice actually.
Yeah, it is. That does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really good.
You could see these would really light up trails in real life. Okay, it's coping a little better with that first part of the route. I'm guessing because it's got these wheels on it, and I like the fact that the different types of wheels make a big difference to the performance of the vehicle, because it really means that you need to think about which wheels you're going to be putting on. So again, bouncing nicely. Here's the as we approach our first Land Rover. Ooh, make sure I stick to the trail. Approaching the first Land Rover.
There we go. Is it going to make up the big hill?
We're going to make it up the big hill.
Since this is the race version, maybe it has a bit more health and a bit more power than that other Land Rover.
Well, health we have is 800. Oh, as he says, as he's driving off the track. Let's just get ourselves lined back up again. I was busy looking at the health there. Alright, yeah, health is 800. Fuel it gives us is 300 litres as standard.
Same with the others. Of the other one.
Fuel usage is as you'd expect for a vehicle this size. We're down to 1 or 2 litres per minute, as you expect going up a hill like this. Now this is where the other Land Rover struggled a bit. Nice red glow from the rear lights there, isn't there?
I'm pretty sure we've got rear headlights on. They're massive to glow from them.
This is slowly making it up.
I actually think there's a ford in the track right now.
The map we're on is backcountry. We should be able to get past this because we've been up here before. It's a backcountry map. We'll put the link to the website in the description. And again, he's slowly moving, but struggling a bit.
That's a ford in the map because if we're struggling, it might even be because of the back.
Is it because we're stuck in the map barrier?
Yeah.
That's a shame.
No, we're halfway out the map barrier.
Let's just see if our handbrake holds. Let's see if there's a winch point anywhere up here so we can grab hold of something. There's a winch point there. We'll see how that gets on.
We can try and winch out the map.
Yeah.
Try and winch out the map. With the parking brakes on. We're actually going to winch out the map. I didn't know we were.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. Oh, I've managed to press R by mistake. Right, come on in, let's get going.
I think we're stuck.
Are we stuck now, are we? Oh, come on. Come on. Are we grounded on something? Well, wheels are spinning away there.
I think the map barrier might be lifting us up.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. Anyway, that was the G4. Now, let's go back and take a look at the RAV4. Okay, here we are again. Start up the engine. Oh, beefy. Oh, there's some big lights as well there. There are some bright lights in the front of this thing.
It can even pull itself with parking brake on.
Yeah, I did that deliberately to test it. And it's got some speed on it. It's like
the Land Rover when I tested it.
Okay, let's take a look at what we can get with this thing. So, Thule bag gives us 2 garage points. Oh, nice!
One of them little bags on it.
Yeah, I like that. That's a lovely touch. I've not seen one of them before.
Up there's a wheel, lad.
Is that the wheel that just appeared in the back? Yeah, nice. The wheel's just appeared in the back.
Tools and wheel off-road.
What did that give us? That gave us 500 pair points. Tools and wheels.
off-road looking wheel.
Okay, so uninstall that. I wish it would stop automatically zooming in like that. And let's put tools and wheeled off-road.
Look at an off-road wheel on it.
So what does that give us? That gives us 500.
Same, just adds a little off-road wheel on it.
Oh, I see. And does that match? Oh, I see. Let's see if that matches the wheels that we can get for it. So we've got 2 canisters, or they're 2 jerry cans in the boot, only 40 litres, and a bull bar. Let's have a look at that. Nice, I like that.
It's like a mustache.
Yeah, what does the bull bar give us?
Nothing. It's
Nothing.
Just add the full bag again.
And yes, good. There's the off-road wheels that match the spare wheel. That's annoying when you have a huge spare wheel and it doesn't match the wheels that you've got on the truck.
Yeah.
Should we put the Thule back on again?
Yep. There we go.
Okay. Right. Let's.
What type of views do we have?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, let's have a look. So.
So that's interior. Oh, no, it's not. It's in the hood.
Yeah, no. We zoom in and we can look at the top of the dashboard.
Yeah.
Or we can zoom out. It doesn't really give us much of a view ahead, does it? That's one downside to this one.
Yeah.
You can't really see much ahead of you. That's not. I don't think that view is really going to help you very much. Right. So, are we ready to? Jump up the hill. Okay then, so I'll put it into crawler mode as usual. And let us move.
This thing's fast.
Oh, I've got it on. Oops, I've got it on onto advanced mode. Onto what do you call it mode?
Hardcore.
Yeah.
Now you should be able to put the diff lock on.
Yeah. So up we go. Diff lock is off. How come diff lock turn off automatically when I got damage on it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is without diff lock. That engine sound. It sounds like a motorboat.
Sounds like there's a whine of... I don't think I could hear, but some modded vehicles there's a whine of a turbo in there when you stop it was like...
Oh yeah, this is... No, I don't think... This might be a turbo diesel, but I doubt it. Anyway, it's made easy work of that first part of the... of this... Whoops, map. It's very bouncy. Very bouncy. And then we still got the diff lock turned off. So I've got a feeling that RAV4 may outdo Landrover Discovery on this little hill, if I can keep it on the hill. Still got diff lock turned off.
You should try these things on the RC Death Road sat map.
Yeah, this is a bit more realistic for a vehicle of this type, climbing up a hill like this. This is the sort of thing I'd expect. I think the Land Rovers were a little unrealistic in what they managed to achieve. Okay, should we go on for... we've got diff lock on now.
I don't think the Land Rovers would be able to even get up the hill.
No, and this thing is not finding this difficult at all. When I say that, he's still bouncing around. Oh, now. I spoke too soon.
And also that Landrover Discovery is blocking the way.
Yeah, we'll just see. I don't think we're going to be able to get up that high. To be honest, it's still slowly moving.
I think it stopped. It stopped.
Yeah. Okay. So SUVs, no SUV so far has made it to the top of this little road here on the backcountry map. But if you like these mods, go to the workshop, have a look at the details below in our description, download them, and have some fun. If you like the video, subscribe, like, yeah, and we'll see you again shortly for another mod review.
See you later.
See you later.